Hey everybody, it's Lance of Lance's Car Life. On my second video this year, I'm gonna give my predictions for 2024. Now, understand something as I take my sip of coffee here. I'm talking about from the subprime sales only standpoint, so keep that in mind. So, you might as well hear from a salesperson themselves, not one of these experts, anything like that. So, we're gonna get into this now. I did the liberty here taking some notes. And I figured if you see me look down, you know why. Now, my biggest concern, I'll talk about this, make sure I'm taping here, yes I am, that it might not be good. I mean, I'm not saying it's going to be 2008 bad, but here's my musings and thoughts on this. Now, the good news is we have new inventory. Now, that's been a problem here for a few years now. Now, inventory levels from the new standpoint are getting almost back to normal, unless you're Honda, of course, where they cut it 50%. But that's a good thing because people need brand new cars, even though they're really priced way out of the range of the average consumer at the moment. And I'm talking about true MSRP, so keep that in mind. I'm not talking about dealer markups or anything like that. Now the flip side is, and you see this more on trucks than anything else, there are huge incentives, which sounds great on the new car side. The problem is it drive used car pricing down. Now that's a double-edged sword. Well, yeah, as a consumer, you can say, yeah, used car prices are down. That's great, but from a dealership standpoint, they're getting stuck with a lot of these cars. It is not, and this is a nationwide problem. But that's a completely different video for a completely different day, and I don't want to get into that right now. Now, the big thing is when I remember back in 2008, lending is a lot, excuse me, a lot more tight than it normally is. And I look at my notes is, now there's something that people online don't talk about. And I always talk about this because my entire background is deep subprime and buy here, pay here. What they don't talk about, and I'm talking from a lending standpoint, they really make this public unless it's in unless they're a publicly traded company. It has to come out in their reports for the SEC. It's called recourse rate. Now, for those of you who are the uninitiated, basically what the recourse rate is basically a repossession rate. Now, when I did buy here, pay here, the general rule of thumb, at least for places I worked, you want your recourse rate be anywhere between 12 to 17%. 20% at the most, even though it's on the high side, but you want to keep it pretty much 17% or less from that standpoint. Now, the recourse rate is way up right now, and what I'm referring to is that Give It Back campaign because, yes, I know people are sick and tired of making $1,000 a month car payments. They're just giving the vehicle back. Now, with that being said, these lenders right now are being really tight. Now, normally when I conduct business, I always tell my clients you have to come with at least $500, preferably $1,000. I don't care how you get there. It can be cash, you can be trading a vehicle, a combination of both. I didn't care. Now, a lot of these lenders now, let's say you trade in a car, they want that and money, which I get. I mean, they want. I mean, I always call it customer participation, but it's a fancy phrase for money down. So let's call that what it is. Now, as I look at my notes here, a lot of it is also, now, this is from a dealership standpoint. It's called a bank fee. So let's say, for instance, you buy a car for $15,000 and the bank is willing to approve you. Well, the lending institution charges the dealership a fixed amount to buy the paper. So normally we see bank fees like $199, $299, $399. Now a lot of these bank fees now, they're outright approving these customers, but they're charging the dealership two, three, four, sometimes $5,000, to take the loan on for the client. Now, I always make the joke, if you're gonna charge that high of a bank fee, just decline. Just decline it altogether. Don't even approve it. But you're seeing a lot of that now, and it's not just where I work at. This is a nationwide issue right now. And I don't know, and I'm trying to think back when I was back in '98. I was doing mostly buy here, pay here. Then, we called outside deals, the place we worked at. Same situation. Now thinking now speaking of buy here, pay here. Now this year is gonna be pretty crucial. Now 2020 year to 24, excuse me, the buy here, pay here market is going to explode. Now, I'm not talking about these places on the side of the road. He's going pay cash weekly and a year you're done. I'm talking about those are called I call it D lots. I mean, you're gonna go in. Yeah, these cars are going to have 160, 170,000 miles, 8 to 10 years plus old, rusted out. Now that's going to drive the back end market because that's going to totally screw up the cash market. I don't know about people buying them on off the selling, buying, selling off the front yards, things like that. But those D lots are going to say a lot, and I'll probably talk about that later on in the year towards the end of tax season as a completely different vehicle. But in this situation, I'm talking about the JD Buyriders of the world, the Drive Times of the world. Those are two big ones I can think of at the top of my head. Now, in those markets, yes, they fill a need, but my question would be, because they're big public traded companies, how are they going to fare in this market this year? I mean, are they? I mean, they're gonna try to buy all this inventory up because all my buy here, pay here friends out there, we really don't see, at least not yet. We're gonna start tax season. It'd be very interesting how those companies do, especially in the first and this in the first quarter and halfway through the second quarter. They're right in the middle of tax season, so it's gonna be very, very, very interesting how those particular in-house financing fare versus somebody like me works a traditional dealership dealing when we do deep subprime, depending how that's going to weigh out. Now folks, yes, I'm rambling, but this is just my thoughts on what could or might happen. Now we're only, as I tape this, we're only 9 days into the year, so to ask me this question probably right at the end of next month, because after all, it is a leap year, so we're going to see. Now, what say you? Am I right? Am I wrong? Are you more curious what I think on this? Let me know in the comments below. I know I'm kind of rambling here, but I just want to get my thoughts and musings out there. Well, folks, I'm gonna get off there. I hope you off here. I hope you enjoyed the video. And this is Lance of Lance's Car Life.